Considering this movie cost $73 million to make, you'd think it would look better than a 90s Canadian Star Trek ripoff. Also, this movie cost $73 million to make, in case you confused it with Man is an Endangered Wisconsin. I guess in the year 3000, home design was no longer a valid career. The misalignment of the spike-filled door with the spike-filled wall is really going to up the resale value of this home.
So it's time to set your sights elsewhere for a husband.
I'll never set my sights elsewhere.
And goddammit, this answer requires a close-up, so you'll know how much she means it. Now back to our regularly scheduled medium shot. We're only 3 minutes in, and I already want to fire everyone responsible for this editing. Slow motion, out-of-frame grieving. Okay, I want to show Barry Pepper preparing a grave for his dad, and now Star Wipe. God damn it, I said Star Wipe, not Star Wars Wipe. Well, too late to fix it now. We release this in theaters in 5 minutes.
Has anyone here ever seen one? A demon! A monster! A beast!
I feel bad for Barry Pepper. Also, is this M. Night Shyamalan's Battlefield Earth? Because this is giving off some serious The Village vibes.
The stories are true. The gods used to live in this world, so the gods left.
Battlefield Earth of the Titans.
I think you can handle yourself better than most men, which is why you need to stay and help with the village.
So, this movie did inspire The Village? I f***ing knew it. This movie is 33% horses in slow motion. The director said, let's have your character eat a tiny apple. It'll make you look like even more of an asshole. Jesus, there's so much Dutch in this angle that it's practically Paul Verhoeven.
Drive the chariots in front of special caves with golden arches, and the food would magically appear.
So you could basically figure out what happened at a McDonald's, but you're about to tell us that a statue is a frozen god punished for falling in love with a mortal woman. How do you have even the slightest common sense about one thing but not the other? Also, a movie set in an alien-ridden apocalyptic wasteland somehow finds a way to get a McDonald's plug in. Seriously? This glass case is opaque enough that even if he's not familiar with glass, he'd see it's solid, right? There's f***ing water dripping on this thing. Special effects. No. Why does the gun just blow some things back a little bit, but then shatters other things, like the telephone sign, or put holes in human bodies? And yes, they do show stun kill settings on the gun later, but that still doesn't explain why the Cyclo kills one guy while leaving Sons of Anarchy and Saving Private Ryan alive, other than they have better SAG credentials. 17 seconds of Johnny smashing through glass in excruciating slow motion. Also, he survives this.
It's poison!
Sure, makes perfect sense the Cyclos would take time out to shoot you, put you in cages, transport you to one of their bases, and just simply poison you. Sweet Mother L. Ron Hubbard. These green lasers might be in a movie from the year 2000, but they were made in the year 1215. Dodson! We got Dodson here! See, nobody cares. Why do all the other Cyclos look like borderline Klingon ripoffs with extreme makeup, and Travolta just looks like Travolta with weird eyebrows? There was more work done on him for the OJ show.
Who's responsible for allowing this man-animal to run around unsupervised?
True story. The term man-animal is used 28 times in this film, but manimal is not used once, and that feels like a missed opportunity. And 28 cents.
Sir, I might get shot.
Sure you might. And I might suddenly grow a third arm.
Terrible line aside, what's with this movie being a total ripoff of Planet of the Apes? The book was written in 1982, and I think early editions of the book still have Rod Serling's fingerprints on them, from when Hubbard took the screenplay from Serling's cold, dead, stinking paws.
I'll be damned.
When did John Travolta start acting like this? Was it specifically Face Off? Did the Nick Cage rub off on him? You can see this kind of performance in a ton of Travolta movies post Face Off. So much so that I'm beginning to wonder if the operation in that movie was real. Hold on, now, wait just a damn minute. What kind of sex scene is this? The digital effects mercifully stop whatever it is they're doing to reveal these guys' arrival in camp. But when the movie cuts back to them, it can't resist showing you the effects again. Like Columbo was the SFX supervisor butting in and saying,
Oh, there's one more thing, sir.
They told me this planet was ugly, but this has gotta be one of the ugliest crap holes.
Are you telling me that crap hole is a term that is universal appeal? This movie has so many goddamn Dutch angles my head's been tilted sideways for the last 20 minutes and I didn't even notice. And I'm adding a total number of sins equaling the number of minutes in this movie for how much this fucking movie Dutch angles.
Let's exterminate the lot of them.
Jesus, even when he's laughing like a sycophant, it comes off phony. Phony sycophantism is worth at least 10 cents.
That's why we've decided not to keep you here for another 5 cycles.
Even though this language is technically being translated for us, this is an alien speak English except when it comes to describing time units cliche.
We've decided to keep you here for another 50 cycles. Endless options for renewal. With endless options for renewal.
Holy shit, This movie just declared war on anyone who watches it, assaulting you with a harsh echo, an overdose of Dutch angles, and harsh visuals, and this dude's laugh, which sounds like it was filtered through a sound mixer at Birdemic Labs. Also, this 50 cycles thing would probably carry more dramatic weight if A, we knew what a fucking psycho was in Cyclo society, and B, if it wasn't being said by an alien who looks like Meatloaf if he was cast in Amadeus, died on set, and they propped up his corpse untouched for the scene.
You please tell the senator that if I had even an inkling that was his daughter.
Why all the bullshit to get to this reveal? Like, if the senator has a personal vendetta against Turl, why didn't he make the trip to see how he took the news? Instead, they send a middleman, who wastes a whole bunch of time, making Turl think he's getting promoted, only to pull the rug out at the last minute. This easily could have been done over a space phone. A galaxy phone? You know what, just call it Psycho. Is this being clever? Sticking an L in the name?
Your powers of observation are simply startling.
CinemaSins critics.
While you were still learning how to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
Feels like this might just be Travolta's standard answer to someone asking him why the f*** he joined the Church of Scientology. Also, I hear Meryl Streep studied this performance intensely to prepare for her role as Florence Foster Jenkins. Gogurt! Instead of prison fight footage, the editors inserted stock footage of the inside of a washing machine. Dude, now this probably awful tasting glop has 100% more dead guy taste. Also, dead guy taste is what got this movie greenlit.
We have enough problems without killing each other over food.
Movie suddenly becomes indistinguishable from an Irish prison drama. I heard Daniel Day-Lewis was given only this one page of the script, and he was about to sign on the dotted line until the other pages of the script spilled out of Tom Cruise's life preserver. Did I mention they were all on a raft? They were all on a raft.
We eat at the same time.
That's why this one girl eats first while everyone else watches. Hey guys, you do realize there's a whole trough of that behind you, right? I know there's probably some symbolism or some grabbing a handful directly out of Johnny's hand, but practicality beats brotherhood in this instance.
I put the photo in your box as soon as it came in, sir.
Wait, they call these tablets photos? They don't have hyper-realistic alien technology photos? Just f***ing plates?
You said we use picto cameras to spy on other offices.
Picto cameras.
The mountain's full of uranium. There's no way to mine the gold.
It's insane that Kerr never checked this before, especially since this was supposed to be his crowning achievement once Turl was transferred.
Maybe you were absent the day they taught economics at the academy, Kerr. But nobody works for free.
That's true. People even get paid to make movies like Battlefield Earth.
What if we were to train them how to mine?
In Planet of the Apes, it was understandable that the apes didn't think the humans were advanced, because the ones they captured before Charlton Heston were mute. In this movie, the humans aren't mute, but we don't know whether the Cyclos consider their language to be like barking or meowing. It's really unclear why the Cyclos think the humans are like dogs, and it's an absolutely infuriating plot point. Barry Pepper in The Running Man 2. This summer, there's gonna be more pep in your step. Man, I would give anything to see these assholes stumble and fall towards the wall on the left of the screen, indicating that this isn't a camera angle, but them walking on an uneven surface.
Of course not, because I've already arranged that if any unfortunate accident were to befall me, this would go straight to the Home Office.
Really, what it boils down to is that Battlefield Earth is like Office Space in space. La-dee-da, let's take a look at this random camera here. Oh, look! There's Barry Pepper running through the sewers. My timing couldn't be better. Random, disparate, and convenient opening in the sewer is convenient.
Now that the man animals feel that they have a safe enough distance from us, soon they'll find their favorite food and celebrate.
It is baffling how this alien race conquered Earth and didn't regard all the tall buildings and statues as the mark of an advanced civilization, and never once ran across the kind of food the humans used to eat before they were nearly wiped out. You can say all you want that the Cyclos are an advanced race and regard us like we would regard dogs, but the last time I checked, humans haven't found the lost city of Dogver, the Denver for dogs.
That's their favorite food.
Of course it is. They could have selected anything they wanted.
Let's look past the idea that this sequence even f***ing exists. If Turl is supposedly this highly educated, then he would also realize Johnny and his crew don't have access to anything they want, and would have to eat whatever they could find, right? Also, they just yada this whole let the prisoners think they escape scheme. Did Turl and Kerr act like Johnny had overtaken them, and was able to get the other two to run away with him? How the f*** did they orchestrate any of that?
The leader of the pack always eats first. See?
Turl says, see, before Johnny even starts handing the rat over to Canadian film legend Kim Coates.
They know about the button camera.
Don't be a knothead. It's a man animal. You couldn't possibly know about it.
I f***ing agree with John Travolta, but not for the reasons he's stating. I agree because these people have been living a primitive life without technology. How the f*** do they know how a camera works? Oh, isn't that lucky? Turl landed his hovercraft right where the humans decided to run after they ripped off their button cameras.
What the hell do we do now?
Movie assumes that we know that the humans know exactly where Turl's hovercraft is, and that the jump off the cliff is the only way they can survive. But we don't know the geography of this place or the spatial relationship, and jumping off a cliff seems like a terrible idea. I would try to hide before making this jump. And as it turns out, the hovercraft ex machinas Johnny's certain death jump, and they run into the woods. For f***'s sake, what was the jump about? The hovercraft lands near Johnny, but where the f*** are the other two guys? Next scene, they're with Johnny. I guess there was a giant manhunt in the mountains. You cannot hide from the Cyclos. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. No matter how weird and out of this world alien technology is in movies, it always looks stupid. This is the 3 seashells for video hologram technology.
Please forgive my pretension as I try to educate you in Cyclo.
For f***'s sake, why is there a complicated seashell-produced hologram of an alien from an extinct species introducing Johnny to Cyclo 101, while a completely different piece of technology gets prepared behind him? What a f***ing weird, complicated bullshit piece of nonsense. Then, this camera eye thingy apparently sprays the Cyclo language into Johnny's brain, as if he bought the aggressive Rosetta Stone package. Why did that extinct alien tell him he was going to teach him? Wait, they were just getting to the part where I learned all the curse words!
You understand me?
So they haven't been speaking in English this whole time. Even though when they talk to each other, the viewer just hears English? But they randomly will speak Cycloese to each other, and we will get subtitles? This movie's exhausting.
Obviously, this is going to take a while.
Holy f***ing shit. Idioms! Man, I didn't realize how long Riddler's plan in Batman Forever took until I started watching it again.
It's a knowledge machine. It sends pictures through your heads.
There was also something about an alien race completely wiped out to extinction, but I chose to focus on the happy times.
I have to learn more about them.
In this dome filled with Big Brother technology, how in the f*** are they having this conversation without Turl seeing it right now? Wait, has this thing been on the whole time he's been telling them about the machine? Good God, man! You missed all the colorful expressions, like kofif and alternative facts, and unprecedented. Meanwhile, back in Will Hunting's holding cell. Also, Barry Pepper is about to explain how much math and science he just learned, and I'm wondering how the entire race of Cyclos aren't f***ing amazing math whiz geniuses, since all they have to do is hook up Matrix style to a machine and learn the secrets of the goddamn universe.
Seems pretty hard to understand.
Would have been easier if Johnny had just stuck Carlo and Old Man River in the machine when they had the chance, and then the three of them would have the knowledge to teach. But what do I know? Other than not to make a movie like Battlefield Earth.
Thought we were supposed to be working on stuff to help us escape.
This will.
See, if my geometry teacher had just told me all this would be useful if I were ever enslaved by an alien race, then maybe I would have paid a little bit more attention. By the way, none of this shit helps them escape.
Try the numbers backwards.
First off, is the passcode simply on this tablet? Second off, if Johnny just learned the Cyclos language, how would he not know the passcode was backwards? Unless this really is the Cyclos thinking they're being clever. Also, I can't hammer this enough, the f***ing entire dome they live under is filled with cameras. There was a camera looking at Johnny when he was running through the sewers. To think that they can do all this without any surveillance is the movie wanting to serve us crap and eat it too.
This is how he watches us.
How do you know that? The stuff on the back of this thing just looks like connectors. Are you telling me this honeycomb of nonsense is telling you this is a recording? Meanwhile, back to people we f***ing forgot, because we haven't seen them in 50 minutes.
Do you want lunch?
The fact that this movie hasn't evolved into a sort of The Room-esque cult status with everyone walking around asking, do you want lunch? With the same regularity as, oh, hi, Mark, seems like a sin.
If any of you rat brains knew anything about firearms, you would know that you never store loaded weapons.
Because after all, Cyclos are a responsible race, as we've demonstrated over and over again in this movie. I mean, it's in our very names, guys. Also, the f*** did Johnny not know they weren't loaded? How much bullshit has he learned over the past few days? They formed a plan and didn't even practice with these weapons.
You can't hide this from Home Office forever.
And they're really wondering where those TPS reports are.
When we attacked your planet, all your soldiers and all their advanced technology could only put up a measly 9-minute fight.
Based on that, we decided that none of you could do anything, and so we considered you like animals. And it became a central plot point of this movie, that humans were primitive and lacked skills to do mining. Also, 9 minutes? You mean you sent hundreds of giant ships all around the Earth and conquered all the major cities and the military installations in 9 minutes? I think I could go on a major rant about how this battle is described couldn't happen, but ultimately the sin is I don't believe that. Oh good, Turl has enough patience to let Johnny peruse the Declaration of Independence during this excursion. Also, what the f*** is Johnny going to learn here, other than Earth was a lot more advanced? Turl took him here after Johnny told him he wasn't going to mine for him. So I guess Turl was like, here's what your planet was like before. How about them apples? I bet you're mining now, asshole. Turl sets up this cattle blasting demonstration to show what a great shot he is, but this scene proves nothing, since all the movie ever shows is Travolta shooting a gun, and showing none of his targets.
Let it be said that we took this one chance and fought!
Jeez, the speech, the hair, the dude from Braveheart that Johnny flashes back to. This movie is very much like I think it's Rob Roy.
Me and my men are with you.
Thank you. It's good to have friends out here.
So by with you, they meant we're going to run back into the woods shouting nonsense? How would Johnny and his crew even find them again if they needed him?
I know that if I had tried, you would have killed me first.
Turl believes this. And yes, I know he thinks of himself as a superior being, and this is just feeding his ego. But you can't keep showing Turl being super intelligent in some scenes and a total dunce in others.
There's something I need you to see. It's imperative that you are properly motivated.
But you already did the whole library thing.
It's obvious that man-animals show a lack of aptitude for strategic deception. On the other hand, what you show marginal proficiency at is drawing.
Oh yeah, it looks just like him? Her? I have no idea what this drawing proves. But they know it means that Chrissy and Johnny are together somehow.
I won't kill him.
So many scenes in this movie involve not showing you things. It's almost like the camera they were using became sentient and tried to stop the production.
Stupid humans.
So now they're humans? Was Travolta only allowed so many man-animals in his contract?
Count us in 2.
What's going on?
Someone in that cage knows how to speak the Cyclones language. He's gonna help us fight her.
Who the f*** is yelling? The movie doesn't even show Johnny reacting until much later, but some disembodied voice just whipped all the humans into a frenzy, and it contained 0 characters that would provide an emotional connection to all this yelling.
He gets drunk with economical speed and has other advantages.
A great Gene Simmons impression? Not sure I see why we need blowjob innuendo in our religion-spouting sci-fi fantasy epic. And Jesus, she's licking his uniform. Where the hell is that tongue and that uniform bit?
The old Cyclo's gone completely insane.
I prefer to think he's gone rather insane myself.
You have a busy day, Rat Brain. First learning how to fly, and then onto the learning machine for mining techniques.
Why didn't they just include that in his first session of getting Clockwork Oranged with Cyclo knowledge? That was exactly what they needed him and everyone else to learn.
Crash one more time, Rat Brain, and your little friend will no longer be among the living.
Somehow this negative reinforcement turns Johnny from a pilot into a capable pilot.
But what about the big ugly who's watching us with that eye in the sky?
And one group goes, and one group stays, then it looks as if we're still working.
And the camera won't see the group that flies off in a hovercraft for some reason. Ask no questions and just assume everything is great. And what happened to the button cams? Yeah, Barry Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club band discovered them in a previous scene and cut them off. But now, with the stakes ramped up, they could have easily used button cams to make sure he didn't scheme.
We're gonna destroy their home planet before it happens. Of course, we're gonna need some extra supplies before we can do that.
I'm sure there's a rundown Home Depot somewhere that still has planet-destroying tools left in stock. Also, it feels like maybe Turl could have set his learning machine to only give Johnny the information needed to learn their language and do the mining. But he learned enough to know that nuclear fallout could destroy the entire planet of Cyclo. Also, something on Earth can destroy an entire alien race cliché. Everything in alien invasion movies are way too goddamn convenient, and this movie somehow infuriates me more than any other when it comes to this. During this whole human revolt section of the movie, we never go back to Turl, and I think the reason for that is that it's insanely ludicrous that he can't see these guys flying away from the mining site. Also, they're about to walk into a huge weapons stash that apparently wasn't used when ships from the sky came down and attacked the planet. But I guess they didn't have time to use them, what with the battle taking 9 minutes and all.
It's a learning machine. Teach us to fly.
Also, how would Johnny know this? He learned Cyclo history, not American. And considering the Cyclos don't know about Fort Knox, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they don't know about flight simulators in Texas.
It's like breaking a horse.
It sure is. I remember Chuck Yeager said, "All I learned about flying, I learned while at a dude ranch on a magnificent stallion named Hercules." This projector still has power. My God, man, what the f***?
Mickey!
Sorry.
F***ing Mickey. Of course, Appendix A, the very document they need, is readily available on this projector that shouldn't work. Why not? In case you confused it with Fort Knox, Bolivia. I know they're not taking all of it, but are these airships really big enough to carry enough gold so that the Cyclos don't kill Johnny's wife?
Well, since you rat brains have had enough extra time to smelt it into bricks!
Hey man, whoever smelt it, dealt it. Childish? Yes. But I feel like this is the appropriate reaction to Turl being this f***ing stupid.
Must know he has no intention of sharing that gold with you.
How the hell did Johnny get here without anyone seeing him? How did he know that Kerr would be on checking prison cells duty? Oh yeah, I forgot one other thing. Their videos are shot only in green, like an advanced race that can literally fire knowledge into your brain doesn't have video equipment that shoots in color.
You finally learned how to get proper leverage over someone.
It's disturbing that a movie descending from the practices of the Church of Scientology has so much discourse on leverage in it.
Hell, it could even be a friendly bartender!
So Turl knew that Kerr gave the copy of the video to the bartender, showing his amazing intellectual prowess. But somehow didn't know that Johnny made a deal with Kerr to let a bunch of prisoners go free in exchange for the video. This is insane. How do you know about Kerr getting a copy of the video and kill the guy he secretly gave the copy to without knowing the rest of the story? Also, was that head in there the whole time with Kerr? Because Turl didn't bring anything in with him when he entered the room. I don't think you can find a better 2 seconds of film that explain how shitty this movie is. We see Travolta shoot at the hand, it cuts to his snarling face, then we see Forrest Whitaker with a stub, fully healed, where a hand used to be.
5 guards from the south, heavily armed.
Nope, this video didn't go out of sync, but a major summer tentpole from the year 2000 did have terrible overdubbing. No surprise, this movie did a terrible job of telling you anything about this facility. So when you see Barry Pepper running through this place while the editor slashes the out of this action, they could have just as well have inserted scenes from other movies, and it would make just as much sense. The Johnny Goodboy Tyler action figure comes equipped with hot bullet repelling abilities. Doesn't even need a barrier. Can just run into the wide open and bullets will not hit him. Hair extensions sold separately. Also, this goes on for some time.
Send some guards out and round them up. I'm busy. And don't bother me with every little detail.
Not sure if Turl is the worst villain in the history of film, but he's making a strong case for the most incompetent.
Explosives are set. Can I blow the dome?
This is still going on for some time. 9 seconds, 23 cuts. I counted them by advancing the scene frame by frame because it is infinitely more enjoyable than watching the movie at full speed. When I was told that the Cyclo battle for Earth only took 9 minutes, I assumed that it was because our weapons were ineffective. But Carlo shoots this ship down no problem, which makes me think Turl was lying earlier. But since we know this movie can't possibly have that kind of complexity, I'm pretty sure he was telling the truth, and this is a sin. Hells yeah, and after only 8 hours on a simulator. Woohoo! Also, I'm still wondering how these planes can even work. How long has it been since the invasion? Like, long enough for people not to know what a McDonald's is. Long enough for a culture to evolve where they think statues are gods who are frozen. My point is, these planes have to be like a century old, and they're running like they came right out of the factory.
Wolverines!
One last aircraft needs to be destroyed, and the other aircraft is out of missiles cliché. So did this machine give him override codes for the transporter? Jesus, they should really do something about that machine.
Exterminate all man-animals at will!
Isn't that what they were already trying to do? There were so many conveniences in this movie that I think I'm just going to start changing the word to Battlefield Earth. So these Battlefield Earth explosives are Battlefield Earth.
Everyone on the ground now!
Isn't it too late? We saw a wide area of dome crashing down after Carlo rocket launched a metric ton of explosives. How is there not literal tons of glass and mortar crushing your head right now? Yeah, kitty. Oh, that's a good kitty. Pretty sure I have never cared less about so much destruction in a movie. If everyone, and I mean even the man-animals, died, I would totally give a sin back. You can actually see a seam of this CGI dome structure jump to the right slightly, as if the sections making up this shot are literally glued together, and the glue didn't have time to set.
I know my life is over, but Shirley, hers is of no consequence to you.
Thanks for reminding me, rat brain.
This guy somehow still doesn't know that a bunch of prisoners were let free and that Johnny took the collar off his wife. This guy waits so long to press the button that it's amazing he isn't shot before he gets the chance.
Why don't you vaporize me?
Leverage. If there are other Cyclo colonies out there, they'll send out their gas drones and exterminate us.
So wait a minute, how does keeping Turl alive make the Cyclos stop coming after humans after they release the video feed of Turl cooking up his gold plan? Would they just forgive that huge human revolt that wiped out their entire home planet? This scene was filmed in the basement of the headquarters of the Church of Scientology.
Any of you rat brains. Damn right, rat brain. Don't worry, rat brain. You have a busy day, rat brain.
Crash one more time, rat brain. Never underestimate what a little leverage can do, rat brain.
Since you rat brains, you have been quite a challenge, rat brain. Thanks for reminding me, rat brain.
But there is one thing that you rat brains weren't smart enough to realize.
Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
What are you doing?
You can't get rid of this by sheer force of will or positive thinking or taking advice from a big Hollywood movie star and the dead science fiction writer he worships.
Bomba, baby!
As I said, I won't kill him.
I cannot kill my friend. Kill my friend.
The senator has a lot of friends.
Oh, you'll pay. Don't think you won't pay.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
SEMP, electromagnetic pulse. Nuclear blast sends it out for miles.
Now I swear, the next one of you primates even touches me,